Morning guys, it is New Year's Eve. I'm not actually doing my normal vlogs today, so I'm just kind of waiting till like New Year's over, and then I'll probably just start like going into like the cities and that. But today I just wanted to talk about why I prefer to use the Action 5 Pro over the Pocket 3. Like the main reason really is just like with the Pocket 3, it's like you've got very minimal weather resistance. Like it feels fragile as well. Like I'm sure it can take like a couple of knocks and that, but it just feels fragile like when you're handling it. This isn't like, I'm not trying to sort of bash like the Pocket 3. I do think it's a great camera, but I just think for me personally, like I prefer using this one instead. It's funny, because it's like when I bought the Pocket 3, I had it for like a good couple of weeks, right? And I was like really excited to get it, and I was like testing it out and that. And I thought, it's great, But I think it's like the first day that I properly used it for vlogging, I just kind of realised like just how much of a faff it is to like use it. If you're doing more like cinematic like videos and that, then it's great for that. Like the image quality is great, like the stabilization, obviously like with the gimbal, it's great. I love how it's got that bokeh effect to it as well. Actually, it kind of just makes it look really nice. I live in like part of the country, so this is like the UK, by the way. So I live in like the northwest. It rains a lot around here, like a lot. And it's not just rain, it's like the wind as well. Like you just get so much wind. So rain and winds, that's what we call like blustery weather, basically. And it's like some of the comments, like, if you watch videos like like the reviews and that, it's like some of the comments they'll be like, oh, like if you vlog in like a city and that, get the Pocket 3. If you're doing like sports, like mountain biking or whatever, get like this one, like the Action 5 Pro. But it's not as simple as that, because I think it's like personal preference, isn't it, really? It's quite a small form factor as well, like it is pretty compact. But like it feels fragile. Like I got the creative combo, the creator combo. So it comes with like a protective case to it as well. And having to take it out of the case all the time and then put it back in, it's like you feel like you just got to kind of baby it all the time. Like it just feels like you have to do it very carefully. And I use the wide angle lens that came with it as well. Like I prefer to use that with the Pocket 3. So again, it's like you turn it on, you gotta wait for the gimbal to sort of turn around and that, and then you got to put the lens on. It's handy, it's magnetic, but with that, it's like you have to like carefully put it on as well, and then it's like you've got to make sure that it's like centered properly and that. And then also like when you turn off the Pocket 3, it's like like you have to remember to take off the lens before you turn it off, because otherwise it won't close properly, because like the lens kind of protrudes too much, so it won't actually close properly. So it's like all these things you've got to kind of remember. So if you're out vlogging and you see something on like the shelf, like in a shop, and you're kind of filming that, and then you want to like speak to the camera, obviously like you got to turn the camera around, and then you got to kind of remember, well, you got to think about what gimbal mode you want it to be in, and this and that, and like turn the face tracking on and that. So it's like there is a bit of a setup to it. And I think with this one, this Action 5 Pro, it's just like I love the simplicity of it. It's just a simple like point and shoot camera, basically. Like, it's rugged, it's waterproof, well, it's highly water resistant, let's put it that way. It's very compact. It's just, just the simplicity of it. I think that's what I wanted, really, like, to be honest. So I think, it took the getting the Pocket 3 and like playing around with it, testing it out, and like actually using it. I think it took that for me to realise that this is actually what I want from like a camera. Just simple point and shoot, basically. Like, I love how you could just like simply turn it around like that, I'm using the selfie stick that came with it, actually, by the way. So this is actually the first time I'm using it. There is another one I've seen, it's got like a tripod built into it and that. I'll put an image on the screen, actually, so I might get that when it's on sale, actually, that one. But I do think that's pretty ideal, actually. So yeah, again, it's like, I'm not bashing, like, I'm not trying to bash like the Pocket 3. It's a great camera, like, I do mountain biking, you can see that on my mountain bike there. So like, I do a little bit of mountain biking as well. So if I wanted to, I could attach this camera onto the handlebars, like there's some attachments you can get for it. The other thing I was thinking, like, I drive as well, so I was kind of thinking, like, what, I can use this as like a dash cam, maybe. I'm not sure, like, whether this will kind of overheat. I haven't actually tested that out yet, to be honest, but I'm kind of thinking, like, I could use it for that, maybe. And I just think, like, the versatility of it, I just think it's more versatile than, like, the Pocket 3. Also with this one, it's like, I love how you can like quickly swap out the batteries as well. So the Pocket 3, obviously it came with the battery handle, which is essentially just like a power bank, basically. And yeah, I think the whole idea of that is obviously when it runs out of battery, you basically just plug that in, so it charges the device up while you're still using it. But the thing is, I don't really like doing that, I feel like it kind of heats up a bit too much when you do that. So what I was doing is I was kind of just plugging it in, like, so plugging the battery handle in, and then just taking like a bit of a break, basically, and then just waiting for it to charge up and then using it again. Whereas with this one, it's like, as soon as the battery runs out, you just swap out, like, you just put a new battery in, you know what I mean? And it came with like 2 extra batteries as well. And also it's like, when the batteries run out of life, like, eventually, because there's only so many times you can like recharge them, obviously. So when they finally run out, you can just simply go out and just buy like a new battery. You know what I mean? Whereas with the Pocket 3, it's like, you can't do that because it's like completely built in. So yeah, that's another thing I like about this one. I love how it's like, it's got built-in memory as well. So again, with the Pocket 3, I had to buy like a micro SD card for it, which is, it's just a minor, thing, isn't it? But this one, it's like, it's just built in. With the Pocket 3, it's like the micro SD slot is exposed. There's no like cover on it as well. So again, like the weather resistance is not, it's very sort of minimal, like in that respect. I just figured, it's like, it's a great camera. I was kind of disappointed, actually, to be honest, because I was like, oh, like, I've only had it for like a couple of weeks, and now it's like, like, then I was kind of thinking, oh, actually, I'm like looking at the Action 5 Pro instead, like thinking, oh, like, I might just buy that instead, like, you know what I mean? So I was actually pretty disappointed. Luckily I got the Pocket 3 in the Black Friday sales, actually, so, and I got it from Argos, so I actually used like all my Nectar points as well, so I did actually get it quite cheap, well, ish. It weren't super cheap, you know what I mean, but I love also with the like the selfie stick, because it's like magnetic. Like, I love that, honestly. It's like just the way that you can attach it. So it's got like two clips, like two little clips to it, but it's like magnetic as well. And yeah, just all the like the little attachments you can get for it. I just think it's so versatile. That's the thing. That's, you know, I like the image quality is definitely not as good as the Pocket 3. I will say that. You know, I mean, you don't get like that bokeh effect. It's like everything's all in focus. Like, there's actually no like autofocus with this. But I guess obviously you don't need that because it's like an action camera. So it's like everything's in focus basically. Like, originally I was kind of thinking, well, doing these vlogs, I'll use my phone. Like, I'll just get like a selfie stick for the phone and just, you know, like use my phone basically. But then I thought, you know, like the trouble with that is like my phone, it's quite expensive. It's got all my info on it, like it's got all my pictures on it, music and whatever. And I thought, you know what, I don't really fancy like walking around with my phone and that. Like, I mean, I keep my phone in my pocket like all the time anyway, like, to be honest. So I mean, like you know, walking around a city like with your phone like exposed and that, and I mean, like, it's on as well. Like, I didn't really fancy that. So I just thought, I just want like a dedicated camera. I was looking at the Action 4 actually. I don't think there's a huge amount of difference between the Action 4 and this one, to be honest, but this is literally my first action camera. So I mean, like I said in my previous video, you know, this is like the first one I've owned. Like, in the thumbnail, it's like, sorry, like, you know, sorry the Pocket 3, like, you know, you're a great camera, but I just prefer this one. So I mean, that's the thing also, it's like, when I do these vlogs, it's kind of like, I only really go out once a week, that's the only chance I get, really. So it's pretty much like every Wednesday. So I mean, like, if it's raining, it's like I still go out. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I need like that weather resistance. Like, I need it to be waterproof and rugged and that. I mean, saying about the ruggedness also, I mean, you know, I mean, it's like over Christmas, it's like I went out with the Pocket 3. I was just going around Liverpool and going around some of the stores, like the shops and that. I mean, it was so busy and that. And it's like, you know, you just get people like brushing past you and that. So, you know, saying about like the fragileness of it, like, yeah, you know, I mean, obviously it probably can take a few knocks and that, but if it just feels fragile, that's the thing. Like, the first day I got this one, actually, also, it's like, I mean, I took it into work, like, the next day. You know, so, I mean, I literally just put it in my pocket, took it into work. And then, but, like, after work, I was just kind of, like, just doing a bit of filming and that, just testing it out and that. But it's like, I wouldn't really feel like I could do that with the Pocket 3, really, you know, because again, it just feels like fragile, you know, like you've got to carefully take it out of the case and that, you know. So, I mean, by the way, like, if you're new to the channel, my name's Ash, and basically, like, the reason for this channel is basically just going to be like general vlogging. Yeah, so basically just general vlogging, but it's going to be like mainly around Manchester, Liverpool, and then just on the odd occasion, probably like London. So yeah, just general vlogging, basically.